Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. His name is Mike Brenner. My name is Peter Loshak. We are the God's Couple. We come to you from sportsbookreview.com, SBRodds.com, hashtag AskSBR if you have any questions. And let's throw the record up. Mike Brenner is picking it up in the NBA, on Twitter, in our shows, in everything. I'm kind of riding your coattails a little bit. I cashed with Houston on the full game, but then I lost on the first half, and somehow you knew not to take Houston on the first quarter in their last game.
I know, but still made a bad call on the half. I wouldn't say a bad call. They actually had the lead. We're looking pretty good, but they got in some stupid foul trouble very early on. But the full game covered. Split last night, 2-2 in the NBA. Utah, again, Rudy Gobert gets into foul trouble. When that happens, it affects that team. So never looking back as an excuse, just what could I maybe do a little bit better, because it's that time of year. But, Pete, you always are real easy to throw some props my way, but we can't take away from what the hell you've been accomplishing, and your tweets are picking up. And,
in college, yes. I nailed 5 out of 6 second half tweets yesterday. There you go.
5 out of 6 second
very
half.
Nice,
Cashing that ticket. Pull that trigger, pistol.
And I've also been,
guy in Australia, by the way, last night, he's telling his wife, she's saying pull the trigger to him.
Really?
Yes, in Australia. That land down under.
I want to visit Australia. I love Australia. I love Australian people.
Would ask them,
I love everything.
Well,
I want to be an Australian citizen. Yeah. I want to be married to an Australian woman, or at least What
was the name of that movie they had with that guy? Remember the Australian
Crocodile?
Crocodile Loshak, baby.
Yeah.
Come on, D.
That's a wonderful list. All right, so let's get into. We got 9 NBA games. Let's just go down all the interesting ones. If any of the interesting ones are games that involve a pick of yours, Mike Brenner, let us know, and then we'll cover the other ones after that. First of all, Miami 11-0-1 ATS over their last 12. Another cover, and they are just rolling. Now they're going up against Brooklyn. The Nets have covered 2 in a row, but they're still, a very beatable team. Yeah. I don't know. Do you want to keep this? Reminds in hockey Columbus. That's right. When Columbus won,
Blue Jackets, they just went crazy. Yeah.
How long is this Miami streak going to go?
Well, you know what? Big Man on Campus had a good word for something like this. It's like when a team's hot like this, you don't fade them until they lose one. Right? You keep riding them, but. This was a team that was 14-30. Now look at that record. I think they're 23 or 24-30. They just keep reeling them off back to back. They're healthy. Pete, I don't know. I want to pull the trigger on it. What's the line sitting at?
Well, it's -6. Miami, a 6-point road favorite. I mean,
I know. I got to stay off. I don't know why, but I just got to stay the hell off. I don't know. Man, all good things must come to an end sometime.
Yeah, you do what you do well, Mike Brenner. All right, so the next one is the Knicks. All kinds of internal turmoil.
Drama,
they're at home against
a soap opera.
Yeah, at home against Denver, and Denver, a very offensively capable team. The Knicks have lost 3 in a row ATS, and all 3 of those games at home went over. So I don't know. It's going to be a high team total for Denver, but maybe a shot with it anyway.
I think the over probably might be the side as far as the ticket casher, because I don't think these two teams right now are focusing too much on defense, especially not New York. There's just so much drama involved with Melo. Either he's going to bring it to show somebody. Now he's facing his old team. Not that has anything to do with it, but it might. But he's got this thing with Phil Jackson, and he wants to hurt him any way he can. And if that means staying put, because there's a guy that did not take advantage of the platform he had to really capitalize, money-wise on big contracts. So I don't know, Pete. I got to stay the hell off of that one too, and was thinking, if anything, maybe the over. What's the line sitting at?
Well, it's a high total, as you would expect. It opened at 228. Now it's up to 229 or 229 and a half. Yeah.
That's a shootout Western style right there, buddy.
All right, next one is Milwaukee, of course, lost Jabari Parker, and a lot of times,
again, that guy, he's missed more games than he's played in the NBA, and again, it happens, but he's just got that curse right now.
Yeah, and a lot of times when the top player goes down, the team rallies around it, but sometimes when the second star player goes out, they don't really notice, and then they get a big, they take a big hit from that.
They really do, and that team's already been getting hit, and as I told you on the live show today on the Google Hangout, I've been hearing some waves. A friend of mine that Jason Kidd's job's in jeopardy. They're wondering what the hell's going on and why he can't teach this young talent. So, with that being said, Pete, too many things in there. I don't know. Can the Greek freak do it all himself? I don't think so.
I mean, the Milwaukee they covered their last game, but before that they had been a terrible bet ATS, and the Lakers lost their last game ATS. Before that they had covered 6 in a row. So now they're getting 5.
They're getting 5, and they're pretty healthy right now. I think the Lakers.
Yeah,
if I'm correct.
I don't know. It's tempting. I'm also thinking about the under on that, which I'll probably wind up giving. All right, I'll give it now.
What the hell? Pull that trigger, pistol.
Under 219, minus 110. The Lakers have been a big overtrender on the year. and recently. High-scoring team, but I'm thinking that maybe they'll be a little bit. Milwaukee will be a little bit cautious with Parker out, and maybe the Lakers will. You know,
and that Chris Middleton is back. He's been down for a minute. It's that helps them, but he only got limited minutes, and he's probably going to get limited minutes again. I will have LA, but it's going to be involved in a 3-team teaser. We'll get to that later. So.
All right. Let's see. The next one that's interesting, of course, maybe the most interesting one. Well, Golden State, they have the game against OKC coming up on Saturday. First, though, they have a road game at Memphis, and Memphis beat them outright twice this year, so maybe there's some kind of revenge, or maybe they just don't care.
No, they do care. They do care. And I am literally all over this game because of that. And trust me, your Durant's, your Curry's, and your Steve Kerr, all right, they have already talked about it. From what I've heard, this is a big, big game for them. They want this game. They're not overlooking because they know what they're going to do in OKC. They're going to go clean that clock is what they're going to do. But tonight, they're going to get it done at a very good Memphis team that's really the last 4 or 5 games really standing up strong. I mean, you're shutting down San Antonio at home, too. They're literally playing good ball.
Well, they've covered 6 out of the last 7,
and
Memphis.
It's Marc Gasol, but tonight, Randolph, and not that he's a big deal, but he's going to be sitting from what I hear. You know what, Pete? I have no problem pulling the trigger on this. I'm going to hit the first half and the full game because revenge does play into it. Emotion and momentum. This is the perfect thing. And it's quietly not being talked about. What's overshadowing the fact that 2 losses to this team. What's overshadowing is the big story because they're going to OKC. Guess what? At the end of the day, I think they're more concerned with beating a team that's beat them twice this year than worried about Durant going to OKC, to a team that's not going to be a big threat deep into the playoffs. So let's get real. Let's keep that down. This is going to be a fucking blowout. Excuse my language. Mom, I'm sorry she slapped me. But I love it. I love it. Give me the best shot line. Full game, first half.
Well,
Pistol.
the full game, and Golden State has started to cover recently as well. They actually, they're only 2-2-1 ATS over the last 5, but before that they were covering a bunch. So they're actually 9-3-1
and
ATS
it's that
over the last 13.
time you start picking up steam like you and I do with our picks.
All right, so 7.5 or 8 is the line right now, so we can give you -7.5, -110. That's a pinnacle line. And on the first half, -4, -109.
This is gold because the revenge does play into it, guys.
All right, I'm going to take that one as well. First half, Golden State -4, -109. I'm thinking about this. I got burned yesterday tailing you and then taking the first quarter. Why would you not take the first quarter here with Golden State?
You know what?
-2 or 2.5.
And this is how this thing works with us. And I mean this. That's absolutely a great point. Because when revenge, and I'm told revenge is their factor tonight. It's not, we got to be careful. We can't overlook. We're not worried about this team because we got OKC. That is exactly it. Pistol Pete, thank you for that. And that's how this works. Okay. No, I'm all over it. I'm on it. I'm on the quarter.
Well, I don't know, but maybe the fact that I tailed you on the first half and was on the first quarter.
I'm not into jinxes. I'm not into jinxes or anything like that. I'm into what makes sense emotion and momentum wise. And Pete, that's a good point.
Hey, so you're on it 3 ways.
Yes, I'm on it 3 ways.
All right, I'll take them on the first.
What's the team total for
I'll
crying
take them on the
out
first
loud?
quarter as well. Well, that's interesting because Golden State actually has gone relatively low scoring in these Memphis games, but right now it's 111.
111. Yeah, that's a little too high because let's not forget this is a team that held San Antonio to 74. Okay,
and 74. And Golden State also tends to go under on the road anyway.
Okay.
So
I'll stay on the 3 ways, but I think they need to go in there mentally and beat this team to let them know, look, we are who we are, and you're not who you think you are. So. And let's not forget, Memphis is under a brand new coach. I mean, this is a brand new team as far as the routine, their transition game, everything. Their whole game plan is different from last year. Golden State gets this win, buddy.
All right. What else do you have for us, Mike Brenner?
Well, I'm telling you, I love this one, Pistol Pete. I love Washington on the first half tonight. All right, Indiana coming off that loss, and I'm telling you, when they lost to Cleveland, they got exposed in their defensive coverage for three-point. Kyle Korver lit them up. Yeah. And I don't think you're going to mend that in one night or one game, and I don't think you're going to be able to stop Beal and Wall going off from outside. Washington at home is just a beast, and I think they continue. Give me the best shot line on that first half, Pistol.
For Washington, all right, the best line would be, let's see, a -2.5, -109.
Okay.
I was thinking about the under in that one because Indiana did start going under, but you think that Washington's going to put up
I
some
think
big
they will.
points.
I think they will. And again, this is a revenge game. These guys play each other tight. They love playing this team. So I like it, Pistol Pete. I think it's going to be a sharp call.
All right. Is that it for you, Mike?
Nope,
Brenner?
I got one other one. I'm going to go
the
first half only. All right. Minnesota Timberwolves. All right. I don't trust this team on the full game from time to time, but I think tonight Tom Thibodeau is going to just really be a hard ass on these guys. Hey, we're at home. We got to pick the pace. We got to establish it now. He's tired of the inconsistency. I read an article. All right. What's the best shop line? Minnesota first half. Because if I'm correct, they're playing the Pelicans.
Yes.
Who just, I think, had the totally popped out of their bloom when Utah just manhandled them.
Yeah.
All right, in New Orleans. Now they're pretty much done from the playoff race. I think tonight they really throw the towel in. First half.
Yeah, both these teams have been bad ATS recently. I was leaning this way as well, and it's -1.5, -105. I'll go on that one with you.
There, baby.
I'll go on that
Pull
one
that
with you.
trigger.
I was leaning that way anyway.
Okay, wait a minute. That is
What?
all right. That's it. Right.
-1.5, -105.
Yeah.
I was also maybe thinking about the under on this one. You think it's a little bit tough? 'cause they
Yeah,
can-
Minnesota. I have a hard time with them. Those young legs want to run and gun and just bring it. So,
yeah.
but then again, Pete, you are total Loshak.
Yeah, no, but
for real.
I that was my initial lean. I liked it at 214. Now it's down to 211.5 or 212. So I'm going to stay off it. You're right. It's a little bit tricky. I've gotten burned on some Minnesota unders a bunch of times this year.
Go with
because
your
Thibodeau,
gut.
yeah, Thibodeau wants to play a defense-oriented
Yes,
game,
he
but
does.
the personnel that he has, it tends to just you can't force a square peg in a round hole.
Exactly.
Or
And
whatever.
Pete, let's get real. Minnesota was a team that was a beneficiary of a lot of draft picks, lottery picks. And that was at a time when it was the one and dones Kentucky. All right, these kids don't have a 4-year or 3-year experience in college, which learns and teaches you defense. So it's all run and gun. It's all about themselves. It's all about a show. It takes a great coach to corral that and literally to say, guys, this shit stops now. And there's not a whole lot of coaches that can command that ego and that attention in the NBA.
Yeah.
Right?
Good point, Mike Brenner. All right, now is that it for you?
Well, I'm going to do a 3-team,
Okay.
6-point
Okay,
teaser for
all
Bet
right,
Online.
okay.
I'm going to roll with Golden State.
Okay, that'll be -1.5.
God, I love it. I'd be in jail for stealing that one. Washington.
That'll be +1.
Ooh, I love it.
Okay.
And the L.A. Lakers getting some
Okay,
points.
that'll be +11.
Damn, I love it. I love it. I think that's a teaser that's going to hit. And by the way, there's a group in Australia that said they love my teasers and they want me to do more. I can't count how many tweets last night. Pete, this team we got behind us is awesome. I'm not kidding you. And that guy Michael or whoever was trying to jump on Pete, how did that feel? You got piled up by hundreds of followers. They said, get out.
No, he was right. If he said it was a shitty call on Houston on the first quarter, it was.
But it's the way he said it, Pete. Bottom line, there's no need for that. We don't need that negativity. There's enough of that in the world. All right, we're in a dark business. We're trying to be the light. If you don't like it, nobody's forcing you to tune in, and nobody's forcing you to bet the damn thing. Get smart.
That's
Misery's
right. Good
optional,
point.
Pete. Misery's optional,
Mike
Michael.
Brenner, bringing it on all counts.
But you know what, though? It's the teammates behind us. These guys just jumped right on, and that just reinforces me. It just makes me want to work harder for these guys.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you, bro.
That
This
is
stuff-
awesome.
It
Thanks
is.
to everyone, and I will try to pay it back with more college basketball.
5
second
out of
halves
6
on my Twitter.
last
Yes,
night.
5 out of 6 last night. In general, I have a good read on college basketball
Pete's
in
tweets.
February and March, and on second halves in general. So hopefully, Lord willing, my picks will be profitable, and I'll certainly do my best. That's for damn sure.
I know you
Tonight
will.
is just a few games, but then tomorrow the massive Saturday card, which can be tough. But
hey, shout out to Sean Jeffrey, by the way, a
Yes.
mutual friend that we both have. Met up with him yesterday. Just an amazing guy, and he also likes what we do and how we do it, and says we have the edge. So Sean,
and
that's
what
for
did he
you.
say? He said, "When I used to hang out, I was."
You were the life of the party, baby. Pistol Pete. Yeah, Pistol Pete had a nightlife, D. Pistol
jokes- the
Pete.
jokes-
I talked with someone yesterday, my new best friend, and he's telling me all about Pistol Pete. He was the man.
Oh, the jokes
I
just flew
believe
out.
you.
The
I
jokes
believe
just
you.
flew out. All right, so I have two more picks
it.
that I'm going to give,
Put
though.
'em out
And
there.
this is one of those totals that, in general, in the NBA, when the total doesn't make this much sense to me, I tend to be more right than not.
Okay.
San Antonio and Detroit, I'm going to take the over. It's 207.5 -110. That's at Chris. And again, I don't understand the first half over, which is just 100 or 99.5 even at
I
bookmaker.
think
Now,
if
I don't
anything,
understand this
see,
at all.
I
but-
like the first half, Pete, because I think San Antonio, they got the wrath of Popovich on their ass. They have got to come out on fire. And Detroit just experienced the wrath of Van Gundy, their coach, and now they're responding. I think that first half might be fireworks, baby.
Yeah, listen, I mean, San Antonio, the Spurs, of course, have been a big overtrender on the year,
Yeah.
both on the road and at home. And we know that Detroit, even though they try to play good defense, a lot of times they wind up in higher scoring games. So
Yep.
the full game total doesn't make sense to me, and the first half total being so low really doesn't make sense to me.
So
but
what
I'm
are we
going
gonna do
on
it? We're
I'm
gonna do
going
it.
on
Pull that
right?
trigger, Pistol.
So right now I can get at bookmaker and 5 dimes over 99.5
God, I love it.
on the
Sounds
first
like a
half.
value. I think you
and
already won
yeah,
right there.
the line is going down. Not sure why, but on the full game,
You are the
207.5
best line shopper I've
-110.
ever met.
Well,
Yeah.
I can. That's true.
Oh, it's true. I'm not kidding you.
If you put two numbers next to each other, I will always be able to tell you which one is bigger and which one is smaller. No one in the
right.
world is better than that
That's
than me.
right.
All right, that's it for us, Mike Brennan. You want to review your picks
I'm
very
going to
quickly?
review
Yeah,
Golden
okay.
State three ways. The first quarter going to be a pinnacle. First half -4. Full game -7.5. Revenge is everything, guys. Emotion and momentum. They are going to go and beat that Memphis Grizzlies team down. All right, I'm going Washington on the first half at home against Indiana. It's -2.5 on that first half. Minnesota first half. Tom Thibodeau going to get these boys ready to go. -1.5 on the first half against a team that threw in the towel. And a Golden State, Washington, and Lakers 6-point teaser from BetOnline. Guys, I'm telling you, I'm feeling it. We're getting in the zone, Pete.
All right.
Dialed in.
Sounds good, Mike Brenner. We'll be back later on today with Mike Brenner's early impressions of the Saturday NBA games.
That's right. Bet responsible, guys.
Do your research before you bet. Check out our ratings guide to see which books have the best ratings and sign-up bonuses. Open up several accounts. Shop for lines at sbrodds.com. Always be ahead of the game.